Hi, my friends, family, and esteemed colleagues. Again, going in the circles. Whenever vegan, vegetarian come on my site, the big comments are always, well, we are supposed to be living on fruits and vegetables. This is, I don't know, message of Jesus. I don't know where they found it there. We all know, just look at gurus in India, it's all vegetables, fruits. And we are just basically following nonsensical views of so-called science based on observation, but misinterpretation of what we observe because of programming that we have received or acquired. And then we basically stick to something that we would like to be the truth. And we turn this to be our truth. So, how do we get to the real truth? What I'm trying to say is that, there's everybody, a lot of vegans, vegetarians are still saying, well, we should not eat meat because Bible said I should not kill. Well, explain this to carnivores. Now, how do we know that we are on a wrong diet? There is more and more doctors being aware that diet has to do a lot with our diseases or with the way we feel. And even before we can really sense that something is wrong, if blood analysis is being made, doctors may find some parameters to indicate that things are wrong in a body. And those diameters, they have put in a little package that they called, I have to really look at it, metabolic syndrome. Okay, because metabolism, there is some syndrome in metabolism, something that shows metabolically something is wrong with the body. So what are the parameters of this metabolic syndrome? Well, there's always this high levels of triglycerides, cholesterol, at the same time high levels of insulin, and very often hormonal misalignments. And then, since we are always manufacturing stuff from outside towards in, from finished product towards figuring out how it was made, because we just don't understand human body, so we cannot go from, okay, this is how it should work because of this and this, and now if these are the symptoms, then from here, okay, which were the steps, which were the errors made? No, because we don't know actually the base. We are going from outside, well, the parameters should be like this and this and this and this, and now they are wrong. Okay, so now figure out this is wrong because of this, and now let's try to connect the dots and make the story. And there is such a broad field of biochemistry that you can basically prove even the biggest nonsense to be the result of something, because we are blaming symptom to cause another symptom. So, how do we know the truth? No, this video is not about the metabolic syndrome. This is basically how can we find out the truth about what is our diet? Because you listen to a million people, everybody has their version of truth. And your health may slightly improve when you make a little change. But is that a right change? And is that the best you could have done? Instead of trying to analyze other animals and see what do they eat, because often I'm attacked. Well, but you see, gorilla eats and can digest all the fruits, and they have the same digestive system as we do. Well, everybody from a herbivore to carnivore has the same metabolic system, and they are always in ketosis because they do not eat the forbidden food, the biblical forbidden food, which is glucose. And it is separated from us by membrane of cellulose on that purpose. So animals, because they don't break the cellulose, the only way to break it is by heating it up. So they don't heat their vegetables, they don't eat the grass when they eat it, they don't eat potato, but no animal actually in the nature really zeroes on eating potatoes. Yeah, worms, bacteria, and then it spoils and smells really rotten. Like you when you eat the stuff and you make a poop, wow, because it's toxic stuff, toxin stinks. And even those so-called experts in metabolic syndrome, I have to look at this stupidity always because I forget that somebody can be so stupid, create disease of some natural problem that we are creating by eating incorrectly. Now, doctors always make relation. Okay, if cholesterol, LDL, and HDL are this and this and this, triglyceride is, oh, it means that and by the end, the conclusion is the doctor will spit out. Do not eat eggs and do not eat pork because they have a lot of cholesterol. And your triglycerides, a lot of fat, your triglycerides will rise. Has nothing to do with that stuff. Absolutely zero. Not in immediate sense. Again, many videos and a lot of articles on this I have written. So how do we skip the bullshit of know-it-alls? And don't even listen to my gibbering here. You want to know the truth, you have to experience it by yourself. There is no way to know the truth. You can only know what somebody told you. And how do you know that's true? Because they told you? Because more people that tell you the same thing, that means it's more truth? Just look at the media. It's telling you, go to get yourself a jab. This corona is killing everybody. Now, is that the truth? Of course not. But they are repeating it. Millions of people are repeating it after that. So, how do we get to the truth of our diet? What should we eat? I have mentioned it many times, but still, I'm receiving these mails and the questions and comments, and always the same thing. Well, we are supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables, not killing animals. And look, panda bear, look, gorilla, look, cow, look at the horse. Well, okay, look at it all. It needs quite a bit of knowledge to understand all of this. Veterinarians know it better because they are schooled in nutrition. They are the only ones schooled in nutrition. And even there, their knowledge is limited because nobody ever told us about cellulose and protective shield, about carbohydrate, about glucose, and what exactly happens in the body when we start shoving this stuff in our stomach. So, how do we get to the truth? Before you start talking about something and expressing your opinion, because this reflects your knowledge, you better make sure that what you are talking about is the way you say it is. Don't just repeat like a parrot what you have heard or what you have been told or what you have read. You want to know? Try it for yourself. It's never been easier than with food, because you don't need a laboratory. You need your body and you need the food that you want to test. This is how I tested sea salt. And I tested if it raises blood pressure or not. So, you want to know about food? Simple. If you are so convinced that raw vegetables will feed you and nourish you, then pick one and see if that's true. Let's say carrot. Carrot is a root vegetable, which means it's a storage of carbohydrate for the plant. So now try and eat just carrots, nothing else. And eat as many as you want, not cooked, raw. And see what happens with your weight and with your energy. Well, actually, at the beginning, first day, you're going to be starving, you're going to hypoglycemia because your cells are most likely glucoholic. They run on glucose. Second day, you feel a little better. Third day, enough mitochondria recovers, so now you can make energy from your fat. And since you are not really poisoning yourself because you are eating raw paper, then it's like you are fasting. But your digestion is running. Body is trying to digest what you put in it. The intestines are running, working, using a lot of energy, creating heat. And actually you start feeling better because you're not poisoning yourself, you are reprogramming your cells, you are cleansing. Of course you feel better. This is what happened to everybody who goes from wrong diet into fasting. Any green vegetables, actually, and fruits, raw, not any vegetable or any fruit that you eat basically stimulates your digestive system. So you are losing quite a bit of energy digesting it, and you are getting zero back. So you are losing weight very rapidly, but at the same time your cells are reprogramming to run on your fat, which should be, so more mitochondria is being activated, and you actually start feeling great. Well, this is why you feel good on veggies. But is this going to sustain you if you continue like this? Well, number one, you cannot really live on this longer than 1 month because you're going to die from malnutrition. There is no energy. So with this, you have to incorporate something that will actually give you calories. And since you do not want to eat your natural food, which is your animal products, the only option for energy is in carbohydrate. And for this reason, you gotta cook it. So you have to incorporate some boiled vegetables or anyway treated, heat treated. And you have to have a little bit of bread or a little bit of rice, or a little bit of some kind of a starch to keep you going. Because raw vegetables and fruits provide you basically with minus energy. They may have a little bit in the juice that you get some glucose out, or some fructose from some sweet stuff, sweet potato. But what happens? You use way more energy just to run the digestive system. So you are getting in a minus, and you start losing fat faster than if you would be just fasting. Don't have to trust me. This is simple. Try it yourself. I tried everything. I'm talking from my experience and explaining scientifically what is happening with the body when we do things. So you want to know if something is really nourishing you? Eat it, but don't eat anything else. So this way you see if it's really nourishing you or not. You want to know if eggs are nourishing you? Eat just eggs. You'll be doing fine. You may be losing some weight because you could not imagine how many eggs you would have to eat, especially if you are cooking them, because you are coagulating protein, so you are destroying your food. But if you eat them raw, 6, 7 eggs a day, you'll be fine. You can even gain weight, just eat more eggs. I tried it with bananas, ripe bananas. I stuffed my face with them for 2 weeks. I ate as many as I could because I was always hungry when I was eating them. It's with stomach full and hungry, and I was losing weight like crazy. In 2 weeks, I lost all my weight, all my fat, and actually muscles. I was starting to chew my muscles. And at the same time, you go to any dietitian, nutritionist, and they will tell you, oh, don't eat bananas, you're going to get fat. You got the fatty liver, banana, don't stop with bananas, you can't have it. They absolutely have no clue, they're clueless, because the knowledge comes from books. It's all manipulated and it's garbage, it's not knowledge. And our titles are based on this garbage. So, you don't see any title around me. It's worthless. Oh, you cannot work with a title. Who says you cannot work without title? But you have to work against the system. Because system is here to keep you imprisoned. Get rid of freaking titles and put sleeves up and start working. Work for yourself by helping others. There is no other way to get to the truth by through our own experience. This is why I always say, again, I am repeating because only repetition brain uses to reprogram itself. So it's very simple. If you don't want to make experiment, then shut up. Your opinions are worthless unless you have lived through it. Don't explain to me how it is to be in an accident if you have never been in an accident. Don't explain to me how it is when you are dying if you have never been dying. So, same goes for the self-healers protocol. You heard of it? Well, zip your mouth. Don't talk unless you tried it. Once when you try it, now you have experienced it and you know. Is it working or it's not working, and is it correct what I'm stating or it's not correct what I'm stating? And you will be then empowered. This is your license. Your experience is your license. Once you have experienced it, now not only you can talk about it, but help other people. Nobody needs me. It is the knowledge. And the knowledge you will have only through experience. I'm just guiding you there. The rest is your work. And arguing with me gets you nowhere. Did you do the walk? If you're just talking, who cares? And this goes for all the doctors. They talk about, no, but if you eat pork, you get cholesterol level high rises. Well, did you experiment? Did you check it out yourself? Did you check your cholesterol level and then ate pork or eggs, and then half hour later check again your cholesterol levels? Did you do it? Nobody does it. My wife and I did it. When we just met and she was schooling me on how incorrectly I'm eating, because when we ate in a restaurant, she would take a skin of a chicken away and a fat, or if we had pork, she wouldn't eat. Eggs, she only had egg white. And then always with meal, big salad, always walking with water. And when we were eating in a restaurant, I would bend over and I would eat whatever she discarded. All that fat and all that skin. And she was saying, you're gonna die from cholesterol problems. So then after that, we went to check her ex, who works in a lab, medical lab, and we had blood checked. My cholesterol, 180. Her cholesterol, 360. She was skinny, beautiful lady. Completely destroyed by incorrect diet. So tell me, how many of you have done this test? Especially I'm talking to doctors, to the experts. Experts, my ass. We are brainwashed sheep, repeating what says in those stupid books. Not capable of thinking for yourself. I have to be rude because this is the truth. Stop repeating. Start experimenting. And figure it out the truth. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to my gibbering. Till next time, love you all.